Hello, this is Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling Associates here in Carmel, Indiana, on the north side of Indianapolis. And we're early in January, and many times during the holidays, we put off the things that are important, that need attention, but simply get ate up by the holiday schedule. For instance, working out, losing weight, um, maybe getting your finances in order, but certainly your relationship goes on that list as something that most people want to improve. And I put together a list of 10 signs that you really need marriage counseling. So here we go. You definitely need marriage counseling if, number one, you aren't having much sex. In my mind, the heart of a family is the marriage. It's not the children, it's the marriage. Before the children were there, the marriage was there. And hopefully, if all goes well, the marriage will still be there long after the children have grown up and left home. But if not much is going on in the bedroom, it's a sign of a troubled marriage and a marriage that really is at risk. Having a good love life is about deep talking. It's about actually resolving conflicts, and it's about maintaining an intimate emotional connection. If couples will do those things, talk deeply, resolve conflicts, and maintain an intimate emotional connection, their love life will take care of itself. And they'll be making love to the right person at the right time in the right place for the right reasons. The problem is that very, very, very few couples are emotionally healthy enough to stay connected intimately for even 10 to 15 years, much less 40 or 50. So that's the first sign. If you barely ever connect sexually, that's a big warning sign, and you need to get it fixed. If if you're having heart palpitations and pain in your chest, you better get it looked at by the cardiologist or you'll be in trouble. Well, if you're not making love to your spouse, you better get it looked at. The second thing is, of course, is if there has been infidelity of any kind. If there's been an emotional affair or a flirtation or a all-out physical affair, you're not going to be able to work through those issues on your own successfully without a good therapist. Would you try to tackle cancer on your own or a broken leg? Of course not. And you'll have similar success trying to tackle infidelity issues because they're too hard, they're too painful, they're too big, they're too complex. And if you have abandonment issues, the person who was cheated on, I think you'd rather have the cancer because the pain of your abandonment issues are going to be much, much more. So the raw emotions related to infidelity, there really are marriage killers. And you just don't need any therapist. You need a highly respected, highly experienced expert on affair-related issues. And don't wait. As soon as you have the either discovery or the disclosure of the affair, get in to see that therapist. I mean pronto. I mean the next day or the day of, if you can. Find the right one that quickly. The third indication that you definitely need a marriage counselor is that there's D-bombs flying. If the word divorce, I'm not so worried about F-bombs. I'm worried about the D-bombs. If the word divorce is being used on a regular basis, you need help. You need to get in to see a really talented therapist right away. Another number 4, if you feel like two ships passing in the night and you rarely spend time together and you oftentimes vacation separately and you might even have separate checkbooks and handle money separately simply because you can't communicate about money and resolve conflict about money, you need to go to marital therapy. Trouble's coming if you don't. The 5th sign that you really do need marital therapy is if either of you rage during the conflicts. If you throw things, if you hit, if you punch walls, if you shove, if you hold, if you grab, this can lead to injury. It can lead to a phone call that will bring a couple of police officers to your home and ruin your reputation forever. We all saw recently what about 5 seconds of conflict did to the running back from the Baltimore Ravens, Ray Rice, did to his career. He lost his job, he lost his reputation, he lost millions of dollars. It's a very serious thing if there's rage either way. It can lead to even death, whether it be on purpose or accidental. So it must be dealt with if there's rage. There's pushing, shoving, hitting, throwing things. You really need to get in and get that worked on. The 6th thing is if you're only staying together for your kids. Trust me on this, your kids will grow up and they will replicate your marriage almost to the T. And it's really not gender specific. You might have a boy who grows up and becomes like your wife, and the girl in the family grows up and plays your role, whatever it might be. It's not gender specific, but I tell you what, they're going to grow up and one of them is going to play you and one of them is going to play your spouse, and they're going to be just as miserable as you are. I guarantee you that. So people that say, I'm staying for the kids and not going to therapy, you just don't know what you're doing. And you don't realize how much you're hurting your kids. And it's, in my mind, it's a little akin to cowardice. It's being an ostrich with your head in the sand. If you're just staying for the kids, you're doing a great amount of damage, almost as much, if not more, than if you get divorced. If you face your problems directly and work hard in therapy and very respectfully, and you just can't get them resolved, but you handle it assertively and respectfully, and then you get divorced, and that's done respectfully and lovingly, and then both parents are involved, I guarantee you those kids are going to be way better off than the family who just stayed together for the kids, who do not know how to talk and they don't know how to resolve conflict. Way better off. Number 7 reason that you need marriage counseling is if either one of you is beginning to have feelings for somebody else. Anyone can have an affair, even you. So opening up to your heart to someone else is like opening up a can of gasoline that's going to burn your house down. You know, marriage, it's not only the relationship between you and your spouse, your best friend, this person that you made vows to, but it's also, of course, your children. It's your extended family, it's your neighbors, it's your friends, it's your finances, it's your home. And very few affairs are worth losing your home, your reputation, your best friend for a lifetime, the respect of your children, your financial health. It's just not the way to do things. Uh, the way to do things is to get into therapy and roll up your sleeves and see if you can do the work. And the main thing is finding a really excellent therapist that can really help you. Number 8 sign that you really need marriage counseling is that your spouse is begging you to go to marriage counseling. That's a bit of a no-brainer. What I've seen is sometimes spouses will beg and beg and beg for years for you to go to marriage counseling, and you don't change, and then something just sort of clicks off in their heart. And when it's clicked off, and they're done, and it's too late. And that's sad when it happens, but I've seen it happen many times. By the time people are willing to work, the other person is done and they've moved on. So if they're begging you to go to marriage counseling, that's a sign that says they're desperate. You better get your butt into marriage counseling. The 9th sign that you really need marriage counseling as a couple is if either of you suffer from any kind of out of control addiction. This could be drinking, it could be workaholism, it could be spending, it could be pornography and sex. I mean, it could be prescription painkillers, it could be food, it could be a lot of things. And in this case, you'll need the help of a therapist who not only has experience with addictions, but also who can do the couple work as well. And this next one, the 10th sign that you definitely need marriage counseling, might surprise you, and that's death of a parent. If you're 33 on through mid to late 40s, and let's say you've never really struggled with anything, nobody's died in your life, you've been healthy, you've been successful, you've never been divorced, you've been pretty blessed, you have healthy children. When your mom or dad dies, whether you're close to them or whether you weren't, because if you weren't, what you're grieving is what you'll never have. And that stirs up some powerful things in most people, even if you weren't close. But one of the key indicators, especially for men, of sort of having some cracks in the wall. Cracks in the wall is good. It's a sign of growth. It's a sign of strength. It's a sign of health. People that have no cracks in the wall are psychologically underdeveloped. They've never had any boo-boos. They've never struggled mightily against deep emotional pain and tragedy. So when they get the cracks in the wall, though, a whole nother person can come up and can develop, and it can trigger sort of a midlife crisis of sorts. So your marriage is a system that reacts to all the other aspects of your life. And if you lose a parent, it cuts very, very, very deeply. I've had many men through the year who's lost a parent, and they were surprised about how much grieving they had to do. And then it was followed by depression, followed by too much drinking, or followed by an affair, or followed by just not having passion in your work, a struggling to sort of piece together who am I and where am I going. So generations are profoundly connected to one another, and the death of a parent, even a distant one, can bring up a ton of never seen before marital and individual issues. So all 10 of these issues require your attention. What I want you to do is get with your spouse or your significant other and count how many of the 10 signs that you need marriage counseling, how many fit you. one of them is enough to get you into marriage counseling, really. But if you got more than three, you need to make an appointment today. Even if your partner's not on board, you do not need your partner on board and in the room to make serious progress healing both yourself and your marriage. So you don't have to wait for them. You get busy and work on you. Feel your pain, and we'll teach you how to share your pain with your significant other in such a way that gets their attention. So if you want to set up a meeting with any of our local therapists, or even via Skype, anywhere in the English-speaking world, you can call us at 317-844-2442. And we've got a staff of 7 now, but we're going to be adding 4 new therapists very soon. Or if you specifically want to work with me, and I'm a little more expensive, my fee is $175 for your standard 50-minute clinical meeting. You can email me at familytreecounseling@juno.com. Well, thank you for watching today. If you haven't signed up or subscribed to our channel on YouTube, Family Tree Counseling, then do so. We're well over 2,000 subscribers, and it's growing all the time. And also visit our website, which is familytreecounseling.com. And I have 5 books for sale there on abandonment issues, on shame, on marital issues, on affair recovery, on male counter dependency, on the basics of recovery, and they'll be a tremendous blessing to you. So thanks for watching today, and God bless.